Today was one of those days. You know that day that starts wrong and just keeps going wrong? Where every hour seems to bring a new problem, a new frustration, a new disappointment. You're exhausted. Not necessarily in your body, but that deep down exhaustion that settles in your soul. The kind that makes you want to sit in a corner and text someone just to say, "What an awful day." Stay with me, because what I'm going to tell you today is something I wish someone had told me on my worst days, and it might be exactly what you need to hear right now. There's a kind of pain that doesn't have a dramatic name. It's not a tragedy. It's not a crisis. It doesn't make headlines. Nobody writes about it. It's just a bad day. A day when everything feels too heavy, when patience runs out, when you do the best you can, and it still doesn't feel like enough. And the problem isn't the day itself. The problem is what we do with what we feel on that day. Because bad days tell us a silent lie. They whisper, if it's hard right now, it's going to be hard forever. If you're tired today, it means you have nothing left. If things aren't going well, it means they're never going to get better. And we believe it. Because when we're at the bottom of a bad day, everything feels permanent. But it isn't. Let me show you what's actually happening when a bad day hits. Your nervous system goes into survival mode. Cortisol spikes. Your vision narrows, literally. Under stress, our field of vision physically reduces. We can't see the possibilities around us because our brain is locked onto the threat. That's why in the middle of a bad day, everything feels like a dead end. Not because there is no way out, but because your brain in that moment can't see past the pain that's right in front of it. And here's what makes it all worse. We judge ourselves for feeling this way. I shouldn't be this shaken up by this. Other people go through so much worse. I'm old enough to handle this without falling apart. So on top of the exhaustion of the day, you carry the guilt of being exhausted. On top of the pain, you carry the shame of being in pain. That's too much weight for anyone. Have you ever done that to yourself? But now I want to show you something different. A bad day is not the final chapter. It's just one page. And difficult pages exist in every book, even the greatest ones. Think about the stories you most admire, the people you respect, the lives that seem to have arrived somewhere real. Every single one of them has chapters nobody would want to read out loud. Days that nearly broke those people. Moments when it seemed like there would be no tomorrow. And there was. But here's the secret bad days don't want you to know. They pass. They always pass. Not because life becomes easy, but because you keep going. And in keeping going, you carry something with you that no bad day can ever take away. Your survival story. Every hard day you've already made it through is proof that you have what it takes to make it through the next one. Now I want to tell you a story. There was an old master that everyone in the village sought out in their moments of hardship. He had a reputation for always knowing what to say. One day a man arrived visibly broken. He had lost a business he had spent years building. He had argued with someone he loved. He had made a mistake that, in his mind, couldn't be undone. He looked at the master and said, "I'm destroyed. I feel like everything I built collapsed in a single day. How do you bear witness to people like me and still believe things get better?" The master didn't answer right away. He slowly rose, walked to the window, and stood in silence for a long moment. Then he said, "Come here." The man walked over, and the master pointed to the night sky, thick with stars. "Do you see those stars?" "Yes," said the man. "They're there during the day too," said the master. "But the sunlight is so strong you can't see them. It's not the night that creates the stars. It's the night that reveals what was always there." The man went quiet, and the master finished, "Your bad day didn't create your weakness. It revealed your strength. Because you're here, still standing, still looking for a way forward. That is courage, not defeat." Did you hear that? Your bad day didn't create your weakness. It revealed your strength. And here is the shift that changes everything. Most of us face a hard day and ask, "Why is this happening to me? What did I do wrong? When is this going to end?" But the question that transforms everything is a different one. Not, "Why is this happening to me?" but, "What is this day trying to teach me about myself?" Because every hard day carries information. Sometimes it reveals a limit you've been ignoring, a relationship that's been costing you more than it's giving you, a weight you've been carrying alone when you didn't have to, a decision you've been putting off that needs to be made. Bad days are rarely random. They tend to show up when something needs to change. Not as punishment, as a signal. So what do you actually do with a day like this? Practically, in real life, starting now. The first thing is to stop fighting the feeling. When the day is bad, the temptation is to force yourself to feel better. Think positive. Convince yourself everything is fine when it isn't. But that doesn't work. It just buries things. And what gets buried comes back, usually heavier. So the first step is simple. Acknowledge it. Today was hard. I'm tired. I'm frustrated. That's real. That's valid. The second thing is to send that message. You know that urge to reach out to someone just to say, "What a terrible day." Send it. Don't hold it all inside. Human connection is one of the most powerful antidotes to hard days. Not because the other person is going to fix the problem, but because being heard is already half the relief. You don't need to be okay to connect. You can connect precisely because you're not okay. The third thing is to take care of your body on that day. Drink water, eat something real. If you can, step outside for some fresh air. Your body and your mind are inseparable. When the mind is heavy, the body needs extra care. Not because that will solve everything, but because it's hard to see clearly when you're dehydrated, hungry, and cooped up indoors. The fourth thing is to remember what this day is not. It is not your future. It is not your destiny. It is not proof that you failed. It's a day. Just one day in a long line of days still ahead of you. Because here is what I want you to take away from this video. A bad day does not define a bad life. A hard chapter does not define the book. You've already made it through days that seemed impossible, and you're still here, still standing, still searching, still trying, still showing up to places like this, looking for something to help you keep going. That is not weakness. That is one of the most courageous ways to live. Not every chapter is beautiful, but every story continues. And your story isn't over. It's still being written. And the next chapter can be completely different from this one. Tomorrow is a new chance. Not because the problems are going to disappear, but because you're going to wake up with one more day of life, one more day of possibility, one more day to do something different. And that, all by itself, is worth a great deal. Breathe, rest, and when morning comes, keep moving forward. You've got this. If today was a hard day for you, if that's what brought you here, then I'm glad you're here. Leave a comment below. Tell me, what was the hardest day you've ever made it through, and what helped you keep going? Subscribe to the channel. Every week there's a new video made for people who still believe their best moments are ahead of them. And if you know someone who's going through a hard day right now, share this video with them. Sometimes knowing we're not alone is enough to keep going. See you in the next one. Take care of yourself.